Recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZED Games AU.
Hey, it's Zed Games. I'm Maylee and I'm here in studio tonight with... I forgot to say with. I'm here in studio tonight with people. I'm not alone. Who am I with?
At us, and I'm Rani.
No, if we didn't say anything, it would have just sounded like Maylee's just talking to an empty room.
Maylee is talking
I'm
to
not
an empty
crazy,
room.
I promise.
I'm not really here.
Me, Zahra, I'm also not really here, but we are here. And we've got quite an exciting night.
Yeah, we do.
Like, where do we even start?
Video games.
Video games. Oh, so many video games.
Yeah.
So in the week preceding this show, it is a week that once would have been a thing called E3, but is not that, because E3 is not here.
We don't need E3.
We've got not E3.
We got not E3. So what is not E3?
It's been a whirlwind of announcements and trailers and updates and trailers, lots of trailers.
Just so many trailers.
And many announcements.
So many like high definition, super high res, 8K trailers where it's like you can see every single pore in this person's face and you're like, oh, okay, why? I didn't need to see that.
Unnecessary. There's a point at which I don't want that quality. My eyes don't even have that quality. Wait, none of us do.
No.
We're all wearing
glasses. I'm seeing more definition on screen than I do in real life. It's amazing. I'm tired of it. But we're not going to be focusing on super high definition, 8K, whatever.
We're going to be going through a bunch of the highlights from what we saw.
And maybe some lowlights as well.
No, I don't have any lowlights. I like to keep things positive.
I have some
No, actually, I do have one.
It looks so like, even in your voice, it just was like, yes, this is pretentious.
I'm glad.
It wouldn't be not E3 without some disappointment.
No, that's true. Thinking about it,
like,
I didn't write that down, but if we're game to talk about it, I will bring it. I will bring the negativity.
I mean, I've been living under like a blanket fort of like approximately
We're going to rock your
blankets.
world tonight.
Oh, you're going to know
so
so
much.
much.
It's heavier than a rock. You can't hear anything.
Well, we're going to... what's heavier? Oh, Jupiter. Jupiter's heavier
I've
than
been living
No,
on a
Jupiter
feather.
floats. Jupiter's a gas planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
fine. So I'm going to be with the listeners, not knowing what's going on.
But perhaps to have a little bit of an introduction as to what we're going to be talking about, I think we have a handy dandy little bit of something primer to an appetizer.
Are you talking about the news?
The news. Thank you.
Let's go to the news.
Woohoo!
This week in gaming news. Is Lambda sentient? Language Model for Dialogue Applications, or Lambda, is Google's system for creating chatbots. Google engineer Blake Lemoine is convinced that it has achieved consciousness and has broken his confidentiality agreement with Google to show the world transcripts of conversations that he has had with the AI to prove as much. In a statement, Google spokesperson Brian Gabriel has said, "Our team, including ethicists and technologists, have reviewed Blake's concerns per our AI principles and have informed him that the evidence does not support his claims. He was told that there was no evidence that Lambda was sentient and lots of evidence against it." To read the full transcripts of Lemoine's conversations with Lambda, check out the link posted on our Facebook page at ZED Games AU. Diablo Immortal holds the lowest ever Metacritic score. Diablo Immortal is a free-to-play rendition of Blizzard's long-running Diablo series, released this month on both PC and mobile devices. Fans have taken to Metacritic to express their rage at the game since its release, leaving it with a score of 0.2. The large majority of complaints against Immortal are being aimed at the game's microtransaction system, with many players slamming it as having the worst pay-to-win scheme in the history of mobile gaming. Video games at the Grammys. The Grammys have added a category for music in video games. The Best Score Soundtrack for Video Games and Other Interactive Media award doesn't have the simplest name, but the goal is to recognise excellence in music made specifically for video games. Candidates going forward will include score, soundtrack, albums comprised predominantly of original scores and created specifically for or as a companion to current video game or other interactive media released within the qualification period. This is another step forwards in games being viewed as a serious form of media. Just a pity they didn't do it in time for the Wii menu music. Not E3 overwhelms us with announcements. Beginning June 2nd with PlayStation's State of Play, we've had 2 very full weeks of presentations, with 17 shows in total. It's a heck of a lot of announcements to go over, with several hundred games shown off. Some notable announcements include Resident Evil updates, Bethesda's Starfield gameplay, The Last of Us 1 PS5 remake, and for Xbox fans in Australia, Design Lab is finally available. Obviously, it's impossible to go over everything that was announced, but if you'd like to know more, continue listening in and check out our Facebook page at ZED Games AU. Upcoming game releases. June 16th is a big day with Autonauts, Redout 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, Neon White, Overlord Escape from Nazarick, and Starship Troopers Terran Command. June 20 we get Summoner's Fate. June 21st has Anvil Saga, The Day Before, Elder Scrolls Online, High Isle, Planet Zoo Conservation Pack, Shadowrun Trilogy, and Wreckfest. Then on June 22nd we've got Fire Girl, Hack and Splash Rescue DX. That's all this week in gaming news.
You just got news.
Oh, news again.
Again?
Every week.
Oh, that's true. Every week.
Every week you get newsed.
I'm just knitting my sock.
Yeah, I just noticed that you're knitting. Wow. I like it.
As soon as there's like a knitting game, I'm gonna be like, Rani.
Oh my god, I will be all over that. I'll be like, yes.
I'm sure there's a knitting game.
Knitting simulator.
We're not. Wait, we're news. Okay, all right. So there's actually a lot that I want to talk about.
It's a lot of exciting stuff.
It's a lot of exciting stuff. Like
where do you want to start?
Diablo. That's funny.
Not exciting. That sounds bad.
I just look.
Like a car crash that you can't look away from.
It's just like having the phrase "worst pay to win scheme ever." Like that's
a high bar.
That is ever.
Like, does that
worst?
mean that you can only win if you pay, or that even if you pay, you won't win?
The amount you win is dependent on how much you pay.
Oh,
so if you pay like 1,000, every dollar you pay gives you a 1% win. You have to pay $100 for a 100% win.
This is capitalism.
We're in the late stages of capitalism, my friends.
This has got Jeff Bezos written all over it.
Even if he hasn't, he's. It's just worst pay to win scheme ever. That is powerful.
I feel like someone out there is going to take that as a challenge.
Absolutely. Somebody will have money, parents put parent lock. Sorry.
Terrible pay to win game that is also a knitting game.
Yeah,
that's what's going to come.
It's like I don't understand how it can continue being a thing because like it gets smashed, it gets blasted every single time. People are like still a little bit like, oh, I don't know about having to pay for cosmetic items. Like there's a kerfuffle about that. Loot boxes were a whole thing, and there was gambling laws and everything. And like with anything that's like even slightly pay to win, it's like we're gonna tear you to shreds. And I can't imagine getting to year 2022 and being like, yeah, we're going to put in so much of that and players are going to be fine with that.
Well,
no!
I think they're just counting on that small percentage of people who fall victim to that type of game.
Yeah,
and they get enough money from it, clearly.
It'll be like some kid playing and then the parents just want them to be quiet sort of thing. Or like they don't understand, like, I don't know. My parents were pretty strict and they're like, no, we're not going to give you money to pay for something in the game when we already paid for the game, for example.
It's like,
or if it's free to play, they're like, no, we're not going to pay for anything because it's free to play.
And it's like,
but there will
when you're
be
a
somebody.
kid,
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you're like, I desperately need to be able to spend money on this.
Yeah.
It means everything to me, and I'm just gonna sneak into my mum's purse and just like grab the card and
Okay,
Was
no,
this
I never
from your past?
No.
I never stole money
my
from
mum
parents.
kept that in a safe. Like
Yeah.
she was
Smart.
like,
Yeah.
"Phew."
Well,
No.
I mean, I do remember that at one point, like my little brother was obsessed with Wizard 101. I really liked Wizard 101, and it had like that pay to play
Yeah.
element to it as well. You didn't have to. But at some point, my parents got so like fed up with my brother asking them that they just paid for it. And so like, you know, kids are persistent. Like, I wasn't annoying. Like, I was persistent.
Yeah.
My brother was so much more persistent. I love you, buddy, but like,
But even as an adult, it's like it's very easy to justify. Oh yeah,
it's
just
so
a couple
tempting.
dollars here,
it's so tempting.
$5 there, and then it adds up, and you get hooked on that, and it's predatory.
I have gifted the same game on Steam twice this month to 2 different people just so that they would play with me. And I'm like sitting here and I'm like, I'm going to be the person that falls victim to a like pay to play thing.
Yeah.
Even though I mean I wouldn't, because I'd just get, but I love this game so much.
I feel like we've gone a little bit off on a
It's-
whole
It's the whole thing.
It's a whole
It's
thing.
the whole thing, spending money on
What's
video
more
games.
positive
How
in the
dare you.
news?
well, the AI stuff actually kind of freaks me out, so I don't want to talk about that. But video games at the Grammys,
Yeah.
that there is now a category for music in video games at the Grammys. I think that is fantastic.
If you had to nominate a song, any song from any year, right now, like, what would you pick?
I would pick.
Put you on the spot. Have
I would pick. I'm trying to think
Surely
of something
it's
that's
something
not
from
Sonic.
Unpacking.
What would you nominate?
What
I
would
don't
you?
know. I feel like it'd have to be something from Unpacking. Although I don't know.
I would probably definitely go for like either Fist Bump or All I Am or something from
Because
like one of the Sonic
yeah.
games, because they kind of go off.
And then I'm also thinking about like games where I really enjoy the soundtrack and I listen to the
Oh,
soundtrack
yeah.
regularly, but then I remember that those games that have soundtracks like that are usually, you know, like Life is Strange or Tony Hawk. Where all of those songs are like chart songs that already would be.
I might do a song from a Supergiant game, because theirs are all for
Oh, yeah.
their
Oh,
games,
yeah.
and they have a lot of really, really nice songs.
Oh, I really loved the soundtrack for Child of Light.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
always
yeah.
a classic. I will
Yeah.
always come back to that one.
There's a lot of really amazing music and songs in video games. And it's nice to just like have that really recognized and acknowledged and celebrated. You know,
It's impressive.
What game is the first game you'd like to... What piqued your interest in this week of games?
Sonic Frontiers.
Oh my god.
Of course.
No, okay, look. I don't think it's going to be a good game. I don't
'cause
think
it's
it's
a
going to
Sonic
be a
game.
good game. I think that what we've seen so far looks like a prototype. Like they're just like testing out the movement systems. It's kind of odd seeing like what looks like this really, really beautiful world. It's very beautiful. With these cool like machine things like to fight. And then you just see Sonic just hanging out in this world that looks like something from out of, I don't know, what is a game? What is a game?
I don't know.
Call of Duty.
Mario.
No, that's Shadow the Hedgehog, silly.
Okay.
I'm learning.
It's just like this very beautiful, very detailed world with like JRPG elements, and then there's Sonic.
Excuse me?
Like, you've seen the machines. They look like a realistic Breath of the Wild. I am confused. I'm just really confused by the direction that they're taking.
I'm confused by existing, so, you know, it's fine.
It's a very beautiful world, and Sonic's in it, and he's running around, and he looks very out of place. And here's what we know: he's there, and he doesn't know why he's there. So he knows about as much as we do.
That's good. That puts us in his shoes.
Yeah.
His very fast shoes.
His
It's
very
very
fast
fast,
shoes.
very red shoes. Red makes you go fast.
And we've seen some of the enemies, and they looks cool, but my favorite thing is just like all the fans who have been like trying to piece together gameplay and everything from not E3. Like they're just getting like little snippets and everything from the backgrounds of interviews and stuff. And they're piecing together the game because they're giving us teasers. They're giving us little sneak peeks, but they're not giving us a lot of information. So they piece together the UI system, they piece together the HUD, they piece together some of the mechanics from these little... They've gone full CSI.
Are Sonic fans okay?
Yeah,
No!
I know, that's what I think. Yeah, like,
No!
are Sonic fans okay?
Sonic
'Cause,
fans
like,
are not okay.
It's just not. That is. Look, I
We're
know that you
not
love
okay.
Sonic, but that is not the level of effort that you should be going
No,
through to find out about
I
a
agree.
Sonic game.
I think it's unhealthy, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I think
understand people doing it for something like Elden Ring when it was announced, or like even whatever the next Elder Scrolls game is going to be. But like Sonic,
it's
you guys need help.
yes. Please.
But you know what? You know what I like? Also an animal, because Sonic's a hedgehog.
Yes.
Goats.
Goats. Oh, goats.
Did you hear the news about goats?
Goats. Are you aware? Are you a fan of goats?
I am both a fan and fearful of goats.
Have you ever wanted to simulate a goat?
simulate a goat or
sounds
simulate
not
being
right.
a goat?
Simulate being a goat.
Yes.
And by a goat, you mean a being of pure chaos.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
We're talking
Have
Goat
you
Simulator
seen
3.
goats?
Have
They
you,
are
have you
only
s-
chaos.
They are, that's true.
The first time I saw a goat, a goat in person, I was really scared because I
Yeah.
didn't know what to expect. I was like, "What are you gonna do?" Because
There's
I-
a reason that like Satan is often depicted with a goat
Yeah.
head, right?
I was like, "Are you
I love them. They're great.
are you
They're
chill? Are you
terrifying.
gonna like charge? Are you gonna start like speaking in tongues and levitating into the sky?" And he
Yes.
was like, "No, I'm just gonna eat some grass." I was like, "Okay, cool."
And then your laundry,
And
because you
then
left it on the line near
Oh,
the goat. Yeah,
Rats.
they will eat anything.
So Goat Simulator 3.
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't know that. Was there a Goat Simulator 2?
I don't
No.
know. I still haven't played
No.
the first
There
one.
wasn't.
No.
No.
I mean, there was
What?
in the world of the goat,
In the world.
but not in our world.
I'm confused.
The goat transcends
I'm-
realities.
Well, yeah.
And
'cause
in another reality, there was a Goat Simulator too, but I don't believe that's a thing in our
I
reality.
feel like
Did-
I need to look it up.
In the Goat reality.
Yeah, I could be talking.
Did they have
nonsense.
Goat Simulator 1?
No,
So we
So
have the
they've
missing
just-
pieces.
we do. If
So
our
we need
realities
a-
combined, that would be fine and whole, but also all life would cease to exist, so we can never do that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We
I
can
saw-
never
oof.
do that.
That is. You know what? That's
Apparently, there was never a Goat Simulator 2, and apparently there's an explanation
Are
for
you
it being called
Maylee
Goat
just
Simulator
gave us
3.
the explanation. It's not in
Yeah.
our universe.
No.
It's in the
And
Goat
it
universe.
never can be.
It's too dangerous. Are you watching the trailer?
No, I was like reading something, and I don't really know what I just read, and it's fine. I can't process anything.
Look, I watched the trailer and, you know, I did a sensible chuckle.
Can I go back to my knitting? That's all I want.
Yeah, you can knit. We're just talking about goats. You know
I
what?
just
Goats would probably eat
Goats.
knitting.
yeah.
Knitting.
They would eat this as I was making it. There would be no point.
Goat simulator.
Goats.
It's just I'm just like so delighted by like what ends up popping up during these events, because it's like there's like, oh yeah, everyone's like, oh, Call of Duty, and oh, I don't know, Mass Effect or Dragon Age.
You know what popped onto my radar during all this not E3?
Yes,
It's on my list.
I don't know actually what's on your radar.
Did you see in passing a game called Kaichu?
No.
Kaichu.
Bless you.
Kaichu.
Tell me more.
So
Sounds
this
cute.
game is a game about kaiju. You know what kaiju is?
A monster.
It's a big heckin' monster. Think Godzilla. And this game's about kaiju going around the world to all our beloved landmarks, but they're not going to cause destruction. They're going looking for love.
Oh,
Adorable.
This is a romantic simulator where you play as Gigachu, a gigantic romantic looking for love, and meet six other eligible kaiju. where you answer compatibility questions and find the real relationship of your dreams.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which kaiju would you pick?
Out of the ones that I saw in this trailer, there was like a giant mushroom lady.
A giant mushroom?
And I am intrigued.
Oh, okay.
We do love a good mushroom.
Do
Yeah.
love a good mushroom.
And it's coming this year. It said summer, but I never know if that's our winter or our summer.
If it was...
That
If
would
it's-
make
if
either
it's
very
summer-
soon.
Very
If
soon.
it's summer, it's very soon, or it's our summer and it's Christmas.
But
Which is like fine.
Yeah.
it's coming, and I'm
Oh.
excited.
Love is on the horizon, everybody.
Yeah.
Your true match is out there for you.
Yay.
Well, High Water, which is a game that I noticed in the cascade of E3 trailers that I wanted to tell the world about because it looks really, really cool.
Tell me about it.
It is set in a post-climate change apocalypse world, and it is a turn-based strategy adventure in a flooded Earth. So you're going along in your raft, searching through ruins, surviving
Aw.
with your pals.
With your pals.
And something I particularly love is that the gameplay is accompanied by high water pirate radio, which is apocalyptic tunes and survival news, which I always love games that have radio. I don't know.
Do you think if, you know, it was the apocalypse and stuff and everything, we would have a radio show where we just talk about like post-apocalyptic games to play with your friends, and it's like how to make games out of
Yeah.
sticks and stones and stuff?
I like to think, well, okay, let's make a deal right now. If the world ends, let's meet back here
Yeah.
and and you can all tune in.
Yeah.
All,
If the world ends.
well,
we're
if the
trying
world
to-
ends while we're still alive.
Look,
Which, good
look,
odds.
okay, worst case scenario, we get a fun little radio show,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we have one.
We already
but we
have
get a
that.
different one.
But we get
Is,
it.
Right,
is
talk
what
about
we
sticks
have
and
not
stuff.
enough for you?
I love
I
what we
mean-
have. I'm just saying that it wouldn't be so bad to have a radio show in a post-apocalyptic society
Would
with your
this
pals.
Other radio show be longer than 1 hour?
We can. It's
Yeah,
our
we'd be the only ones around.
Wow.
yeah.
It would be 24/7, baby.
24.
Oh, no.
Oh, actually,
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
it would just be like music most of the time, and then we'd talk for like an hour a day.
We'll have to spend like we have to go
At
on
high
scouting missions to go find music.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually.
This sounds fun. Can someone end the world?
Can someone end the world? I think the world is already ending.
But it's
I think
taking a
that's
long
what you'll
time.
find, that the world is
It's too
already
slow.
ending.
Speaking of world ending, I'm going to cut in here with the second game.
Okay.
Because
Alright.
the same studio that is doing High Water, which is Demagogue Studios,
Love
is
it.
also had a trailer out for a game called The Cub.
The Cub. Oh, this sounds like a game that's going to make me cry.
It might.
Oh no.
It is a a parkour platformer, where you play as like a small child, like a very small child.
Oh, no.
Left behind on
No.
humanity as
No.
humanity fled to the
No,
stars.
I'm gonna cry.
But I also get I'm kind of, from the trailer, I think humanity's started to come back. But
Who's looking after this child?
this child, it's like a Jungle Book situation. This child is vibing with nature and the ruins of civilization.
Oh, actually, that
and
sounds sick.
avoiding humanity.
Oh, that's all I ever wanted as a kid. Actually, okay, actually, all right. I'm not gonna cry anymore.
But I want to, and this game also has apocalyptic radio from the humans that have come down. They're doing sick lo-fi apocalypse beats
Oh,
for this kid to run around to.
A 24-hour lo-fi post-apocalyptic beats to have adventures to.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm very excited for both of these games.
Oh, that
And I
sounds-
like that this studio clearly has a theme going.
I really hope. I just like how far are they gonna get? You know what? I'm excited. We're gonna have to like keep an eye on them and just be like, post-apocalyptic radio station, check.
Yeah, I imagine they'll have some really nice music that you will hear in several months when the games are out.
That is a promise.
Yeah.
Oh, good promise.
What about you? What games caught your eye?
Sorry, I didn't mean to go through that much.
You leant into the microphone.
I don't know. Okay, so this one isn't really like alright, I'll talk about this one. The Callisto Protocol. So if you ever played any of the Dead Space games,
I haven't
played parts of the Dead Space games because they scared me so much. I was
love that.
So immersed in the atmosphere. I'm terrified. My character is terrified. We're both terrified. Very good games. Can't finish them. They've created another game called the Callisto Protocol, which is like so the Dead Space games are like a whole series. This is kind of like an extension of that, a successor, a spiritual successor, as they say. And the trailer for it looks extremely spooky, very eerie, lots of thrills. And one of the things is that in the Dead Space games, the combat was more like, there was some combat, so you have like a gun, and the gun never felt like it was doing enough. But now you have more melee, so you get like punch your way out, and I feel like that is going to be so much more in tune with my fear response, because I don't think I'm going to reach for a weapon when I'm terrified. One of the first times I got scared at a camp, I charged headfirst, literally just charged headfirst right into the sphere, which is probably not a good.
No, I like it.
It's probably not the most sensible one.
It's
a
fight, not
strategy.
flight.
It's a strategy, and it eliminated the fear. So
yeah.
I'm hoping that like in the Callisto Protocol, I'll be able to push through the fear by just like going like just ham. I'm punching the air right now for listeners at home. Just go completely bonkers, and then maybe I'll be able to actually finish a game. But it looks really good. Very excited for that. So that's what I'm excited about.
You just got gamed, listeners.
Oh, gamed.
But we're not just here for games.
What else are you here for?
So you're listening to Zed Games, is that it?
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Hello, you're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games. You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Perfect. Thank you. It's Zed Games.
It's Zed Games.
It is Zed Games.
It's coming really late, and we got so excited. We didn't get through half the games, so we're going to have to say goodbye. But before we do, we're just going to hit you with a few bangers.
All right. Overwatch 2.
Yes.
Junker Queen. Junker Babe.
Babe.
She is a junker babe.
Woo! Aliens. Dark Descent.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima's mystery game. We don't have title though, so I don't know.
It'll be good.
Skate Story.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Oh, I'm so
a bunch
excited for
of
Skate Story.
Riot games are coming to Game Pass. And speaking of, Persona 3, 4, and 5 are also coming to Game Pass.
I've got the game Stray. It's coming out.
Nice.
My notes just say meow meow meow.
That to the
You play
air.
a cat. I'm
Meow,
very
meow,
excited.
meow.
That's all you
Meow
need to
meow
know.
meow.
I've also got the third game in the Layers of Fear world. It's called Layers of Fears. And
Wow, very.
it's terrible name for
Gross.
terrible name for a game.
Onions.
I've got the Truman Show-esque American Arcadia. Sounds very cool. You're escaping from a show.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
But we time's going. I want to mention Kaichu again because I'm very excited
Kaichu, yeah.
to kiss giant monsters.
Who isn't?
Who isn't?
Who isn't?
We're gonna go now. So we'll see you guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.